Hi, and welcome back to SKALD Crafts Tutorials, where we explain how to do simple crafting things very simply. My name's Lester, and today we're going to talk about riveting. Now, there's a bunch of different rivets out there. We have some hollow rivets, we also have some pretty rivets, and we have some full metal rivets. And we will be talking about how to rivet them into leather or rivet leather together. For that, we will need a hammer. I have a ballpoint hammer. You don't need this, but I would say you should get one for 16 euros. They're great. You'll also need a sturdy surface. I have a girder. You can use anything else if you have it. Just make sure that it doesn't reverberate too much. It's very solid, and make sure that it doesn't break, like for instance stone. What else do we have lying around here? We have some leather that we'll put on the steel surface. We have some earplugs because it might get a bit loud. We have a hole punch. It punches holes, so we'll punch some holes into some leather. We also have this setting tool, which a lot of people or a lot of vendors that sell rivets, they sell these. Not essential, but kind of useful. Lastly, we have a drill with a steel, with a steel bit in it to drill through steel. That may come in handy in case we, for instance, want to drill through steel so that we can add leather straps by riveting them on. That's something we'll also be doing later on. Yeah, stay tuned. I'm Lester. I'm afraid of cameras and bees. That's a lie, I'm not afraid of bees. First, you'll have to place the material you want to rivet together so that you know where it goes. Then mark where you want the holes for your rivets to go. Since I'm doing this with leather, I'm using the hole punch to punch holes where the rivets are gonna go later on. Let's start out with solid rivets. First, thread the rivet through the leather. In order to get the disc onto the rivet, you should use the riveting iron. Use the deeper side of it to push the disc over the pin so that it sits right on top of the leather. Use a pair of pliers to shorten the rivet pin. When that's done, there are two options to flatten the rivet pin. The first would be to use your riveting iron with the dish. Place it on top of the rivet pin and hammer it down so that the top turns into a mushroom head. Another option would be to use the round side of your peening hammer instead of the riveting iron. Here, in order to peen the top of the pin, you should hammer it with the round side of your peening hammer in an outwards motion, as shown in the video. With this technique, you'll achieve a nice shroom as well. Once you've broadened your pin, use the flat side of your peening hammer to flatten the pin. You can also rivet leather to metal, for example, a helmet. For this, you just have to make sure that the head is on the outside of your helmet and that it is placed on a metal surface. Apart from that, the process is the same. The next type of rivet is the hollow rivet. Hollow rivets aren't as durable or as solid rivets, but the process of applying them is much simpler, since you don't need to go through the process of broadening the pin. You can also easily take them out using a smaller drill bit. Just place the rivet through the leather, hammer carefully down on the disc, and you should be done. Now let's talk about pretty or ornamental rivets. Ornamental rivets are often basically hollow rivets, so the riveting process is pretty much the same. Just make sure to put something soft between the rivet head and the metal surface so that the head does not get mangled. You want to keep it pretty. Also, pretty rivets aren't usually meant to hold anything together. Usually, their sole purpose is decoration. Well, I hope you all had fun. Thanks for watching SKALD Crafts Tutorials, the riveting. I gotta say, I'm not 100% happy with my job over here, even though it was a shit ton of fun. The hollow rivets didn't turn out very pretty. That is because I rarely ever work with them and I don't have a dish. People who do work with them tend to hammer them in using a dish. Then these pretty rivets, they did all right. I didn't deform the outside because I had the leather underneath, and they're sticking quite well. You can't really get rid of them. They're here to stay. And the peening job, well, I usually do better, I swear, but generally speaking, it's an okay job. The straps really hold together. Yep. Okay, I hope you guys go out, get some riveting tools, and have your own experiences, and maybe you'll think back with a joyous and reminiscent smile of that time you watched SKALD Crafts the tutorials and think back, wow, that's where it all started for me. My long career in riveting. Yeah. Okay, thanks for joining. Have a great day, and see you next time. Bye.